it's kind of like a poetic story, sort of, and it's kind of like a personal piece for me. So the heart represents like who you are as a human, like the deepest part of who you are. And as you can see, it's kind of in like this really rugged, kind of hellish almost landscape. Uh, and kind of the idea behind it is that to find your true self, you have to go through, tough trials and things like that, you know? And that was kind of the idea, general idea of what I was going for. A lot of it is just still kind of loose in my head. Like I get like sort of like it's more of like an emotional thing. Like even like if I can't necessarily put to words what exactly it represents, like I'll get like this feeling and just kind of put an image to it. And that's kind of what I was going for. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but maybe I could elaborate a little more. But that's what it represents. And the giant angel guy here, right there, is that represents like protecting, because he's like protecting the floating heart, and it represents strength, that you have to have strength to protect, your innocence and the deepest part of who you are. So that's what it represents. Thanks, Mythical. I'm glad you liked the idea. And finally end some of the lava colors again. Oh, and another thing that might be helpful to those who paint, if they don't know this. The sky, if you take the color of the sky here, and you also take the color of this lava, the lava is just slightly brighter, but not a whole lot. And especially right here, it's actually brighter than this lava. But yet the reflection of the light on the rocks is still dimmer, despite the fact that the light source of the sky is brighter than the actual lava itself, but yet the lighting of the lava on the rock is brighter. The reason why that is because the rocks are closer to the lava than it is the sky. So even though that the lava is dimmer slightly, it's actually brighter on the rocks than the actual skylight itself. Now, if there was no like lava or anything, and it was just the sky, then the brightest part would be the skylight on the rocks. I apologize, my hand's in the way. I'm 7 feet tall, so I got like really big, ginormous, like gorilla hands. So I'm like, I apologize if it's in the way. What about if it was water instead of lava? I actually kind of thought about that. I want to go with lava because I did want it to have kind of a threatening vibe to it. Just because it's supposed to like kind of represent hardship, and kind of like the trials in life that you go through to get to your heart, find your true self. Only 4'11". Yeah, it'd be interesting to trade heights for a day. I think I was like 4'11" in like fifth grade or something. I'm not dissing you at all, by the way. I'm just saying I've always been like freakishly tall. So it'd be kind of nice to be kind of normal size, for a day or two. It's really weird because when you're as tall as I am, you feel normal. Like you feel like normal height, but then like you look at photographs standing next to people and you're just like towering over people. You don't really realize how tall you are until you could see yourself with other people in like photographs and stuff. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I'm freaking huge. Meant the lighting. Oh, I got you. Hold on. Let me scroll. I hope this. Thank you. There we go. Having issues for the. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, height comes with its own perks. I could reach tall shelves and stuff, but you gotta watch out for like ceiling fans and stuff. And I'm actually not even joking. I've hit my head a few times on ceiling fans. It's not fun. Pretty funny though. Doing some of the highlights of lava on the rock now. Oh, you're 4'11" too? Man, got like a whole group going. And thanks for joining. T-Air Experiment. Hopefully I said that right. Foreign's also. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing for tall people, man. You gotta watch out for ceiling fans and doorways and the whole works. Oh, I said this before, but I can't remember if I said this while you guys were in there. I apologize if I'm kind of slow at comments sometimes. The tripod here that I'm using sits like higher than my head. So when I check on comments, I have to like prop my head up and stop what I'm doing. So if I'm, a few seconds late to respond to anything, that's why. Welcome, and you did. Oh, that's good. Shared your live. Thanks for the share. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. There we go. All right. So I'm trying to determine if there's can there be any like, yeah, that looks good. We'll just throw stuff at me. That'll get my attention, yeah. Do you, Tiara, do you paint or anything like that, or you just enjoy watching art and stuff? Just wondering. I'll show you the paint. Oh, I crochet. Oh, that's really cool. I'm so bad at that. I tried that in high school, and like I was not good at it. So that's pretty neat. So I'm mixing this light blue color and some white. So this is the color of the sky, roughly. At least on the left side anyways, you can't see. But on the left side, it's a bluish green color. And so I'm going to make that sky color. Add a little bit of black to gray it down because it mixes in with the color of the rocks, which is kind of a grayish brown. So I'm going to add that grayish brown to the mixture. And the rule of thumb is also the object being lit up by a light source is never brighter than the light source itself. So that means it can be, in some scenarios, the same brightness if it's like reflective. Okay, I gotta go. I'll catch you next live. Bye. All right, that's cool. Thanks for joining Mythical. It was great talking to you, and thanks for joining and chatting and stuff. I had a lot of fun. Gonna add a little bit of blue. That's probably about the right color. So something like that. I'll start painting the tops of the rocks. Yeah, and it also just kind of suggests the form, because it's like whenever you put in lights and darks, really what you're doing is you're suggesting what angle that surface is. So like, for example, anything facing the direction of the light will be lit up by that light source. So for the sky, anything like facing up or like anywhere in between like 90 degrees or so will be lit up by this sky color here. But like the bottoms, like right in here, that's facing down and not towards the sky, so it wouldn't be getting any light. However, the lava is below it, so like the underneath parts of the rocks will be lit up by the lava. Just it's all about angles, and I make it sound simpler than what it actually is. It takes practice. I'm not trying to like undermine how difficult it is for a lot of people. It takes a lot of practice. Yeah, exactly, Tiara. And I usually go in order of I'll do like the darker tones and the sky tones and establish that, because that gives me a better idea of the overall form. And then I'll do like the highlights, because this little floating glowing heart will be emitting light as well. And that'll be basically the sun in this particular painting. And so I'll be putting in the skylight and then eventually go back in and go over it with that warm sun heart color. Invite. Heck yes, dude. My mom was an art teacher, but I didn't get... That's awesome, though. It's just practice, But that's really cool. I actually thought about being an art teacher for a while. What's up, Jason? I'm happy you could make it. I'm trying to hit the invite button, but my tripod is in the way. This thing's gonna give me a lot of issues this whole time. Hopefully, come on. I'm tapping it, but oh, here we go. I'll tap it again. It's not doing anything. What's up, tall guy? Not much, Jason, man. How you doing? Oh, there you go. I think I sent it. Majored in college? That's really cool. Yeah, I went quite a while thinking about being an art teacher.
Hello, is this working?
Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah. What's up,
Oh,
Jason?
cool. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you been?
Doing well, doing well.
That's good.
I was checking my clock. I was like, all right, I gotta jump on this live, man. I know you went live about an hour ago or so.
Yeah, I jumped on just a little early. It was like 7:50 or so. But yeah, I
Nice,
appreciate you could make it, man. I'm glad to have you.
thanks. Yeah, I had to run out really quick. I was like, I hadn't really been out today, and then I was like, oh crap, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, man. I better get my act together.
Yeah.
You end up castrated, miss a date like that, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally understand.
No, this is looking really good, man. I see you've got a lot of the lava added and everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
the
looks
lava
fantastic.
this area in specific was kind of a pain in the butt, but also really fun to do at the same time. But
Yeah,
yeah, I appreciate it.
I love the I love the reflected light. Kind of has that like that pink value, like going up the ridges there. It looks really good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, there's a guy I follow who's insane at painting. He's a kind of guy. I can't remember his name now though, because it's been so long since I've seen his videos. Admittedly, I think it's Mike. It's
Mhm.
Michael something. Um,
Okay.
but he does like hyper realistic paintings. Like it looks like photographs, and
Uh huh.
and I learned quite a bit from just watching his videos. And he's still way
Nice.
better than I am. Like I'm still like I'm just amazed at how what he does.
That's cool.
Because you genuinely, if you
ATR
take a step,
experiment.
what's that?
Somebody was giving me a shout out on your thread here. I was like, hey Tiara, how's it going?
Oh yeah, I see that. I'd be a great art teacher. Thanks. I
Yeah, absolutely. I like your like how you explain your color theory and stuff. Like it really like makes sense. I like as soon as I started seeing your videos, I was like, all right, you've got the gift of like value and color, man. It's like really cool.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, especially because like it could be like really hard to explain sometimes for me because it's like there's so much that goes into it, you know,
Yeah,
that like trying to break it down in like the simplest way it can be like really challenging to do sometimes because it's not just like considering light sources, but it's also like knowing how to mix the paint and like, you know. So I was like,
exactly.
I really hope that like what I'm saying like makes sense to people, you know.
I think so. You know, and I was even like for example, my wife, she had a really bad experience with a art teacher who had just said you need more burnt sienna, like, and that's what she remembers, like them kind of yelling at her, and
Yeah.
like, okay, but why do I need more burnt sienna? Like, what's that behind that, you know? And so I think that's really cool. I think that you've kind of talked about how you um, tone a value down in, you know, for example, like the aerial perspective with like the moisture in the air and stuff like
Hmm.
that. That's the kind of stuff that I kind of geek out on because right, a lot of people can draw, right? But
Yeah.
like there's a whole nother world to to how to how to put color together.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's like a whole field like color theory and stuff. Yeah, that's like a whole
Yeah,
bag of worms. But the thing
yeah,
is, like, I really genuinely believe anybody could do it. Like, I know that's like such like a marketing thing that like you'll hear people like join my classes. Anyone could be a painter type, and I'm not selling anything. but like I genuinely believe that anybody, like when they learn like how light works and stuff, that anybody
Yeah.
could do paintings like I am over time. It's like it's kind of like there's a good example that someone told me. I think it was my old art teacher, but he said that the problem is like when people first start painting, and
Yeah.
someone asks you to paint a tree or a rock or something, they'll visualize, like they know, people know what a tree looks like, and so they'll
Right.
visualize the tree in their head, and then they'll put it on paper, and they'll look at it, and the drawing or painting won't match with what was in their head, and then they get discouraged, and they assume
Right.
like, oh, I'm just bad at this. But what I think is it's just you have to like ask yourself, what is it that makes a tree look like a tree? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like
Right.
the once I started asking myself those questions, it started like making more sense. I started like painting more of what I saw rather than what like my interpretation of what a tree would be. Like for
Right.
example, people would be
Right.
like, "Oh, trees, the leaves are green," But if you go outside
Right.
on like a cloudy day and you look at trees in the distance, there's no detail, and it'll be like gray, you know and I'll
Yeah.
just ask myself like, why is that? And I'll just like start looking into like how light works and things like that. And it sounds super complex, but it's like really not. I mean, there's some learning. There's a bit of a learning curve, but it's like once you get it, like you just get it. It's like riding a bike, and then all of a sudden, you can
Yeah.
you just see this huge leap in like your artwork and stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with my TikTok. Is like I want to like help people with that, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think like for example, even in your painting that you're working on here, looking at the mountain in the background, people generally think of a mountain is just like some brown form with like that almost looks one-sided, and then they might put like a little snow cap on the very top, but you don't think about the snow and the shadow where it's more of a baby blue, sky blue,
Yeah.
um, and I even in this example, it's kind of like you've got a light side and a dark side, and you just choose like which side that light's coming from, um, and that I think that's half the battle. Really, is keeping track of the light side and not losing, and then also when you're doing that, not losing all that dark
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. No, I totally understand what you're saying. 'Cause, like one of the biggest like things for me that helped me grow like instantly was like what you said, just understanding how light, because when you have a light source of any kind, whether it be the sky or a lamp or the sun or the moon, um the surface of the object that's being like illuminated by that light source actually takes the color of that light source, like on this like rock
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
like
yeah,
when you think, like it actually will, you take that rock color and add the lava color and brighten it up because it's lighter, and it just works because it's just like
yeah.
what you see in nature. And it
And it
sounds really
takes you.
complicated, but it's
Mhm.
like once you get it, it's like, and it's really easy to get. That's what I was so surprised, was like it's like
Yeah,
really hard at first, and then all of a sudden it's just like it just clicks, and like
yep,
everything just kind of makes more sense.
yep. It's crazy because then you in some light, right now your tree might be like like a dark magenta in the dark, and then a bright pink in on the highlights, when you wouldn't think of a maple tree, for example, looking like that. You know, and
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's really really cool. And yeah, it's kind of interesting for me. Just starting, I started getting back into painting just last like this not this past December, but the December before, and I started doing these custom paint by numbers, and
Mm-hmm.
it really allowed me to not have to think about the where to put the color, just to kind of get color down on the canvas,
Sure.
and that was like a really good way to kind of get me back into it, because then immediately I wanted to be doing my own subject matter. I was like, this is cool, but I really want to get my own subject matter going, and
Yeah.
it was really a really cool way to sort of get unstuck from artist block or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just been uh, again, it's a lot of I've been doing I've been just infatuated with watching these Bob Ross specials, The Joy of Painting, and I'm going like season by season and watching, and I'm so glad that they're on YouTube and they're on Freevee as well. Um, and he as an impressionist painter, he he just goes so fast, but he's teaching techniques, and he's talking about how anybody can do this, and it just seems so free, and he always mentions, he goes, if you're not having fun painting, then you're doing something wrong, and he's totally right.
Yeah.
That's
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
um
I think I told you. Bob Ross was actually what got me into painting. I love Bob Ross, man. I still wish he
oh,
was
that's
here.
cool. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I guess there's a new Netflix special about kind of about what happened with the corporation,
Hmm.
because there's that Bob Ross corporation, and then they have the legal rights to the name and things of that
Hmm.
nature, and his son and his family, so that there's like kind of a conflict there. But I haven't watched that. I've just but the one cool thing I think this is really interesting is that his son Steve is actually still teaching classes even today. So he's kind of carrying that along as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I remember his son was. I think it was his son that was doing it for a while too. He's been on like a few episodes, like the older episodes, while he was still
Yes,
alive and stuff.
yeah, yeah. He was a pretty young kid. He was
Yeah.
actually in season one, and he was like at the time I think he might have been 17 or 18, so he was still in high school.
Oh, really? He was that? Wow.
Yeah,
Because he
yeah,
looked a lot. He actually looked like an actual younger Bob Ross. That's what I thought was funny.
totally. Yeah. So he's up there now. He's but I guess he's still doing it, which is really cool.
That is cool. That is cool. Then there's all
Um,
those episodes where bringing like squirrels and stuff in his studio.
yeah, right.
He just seemed
Yeah.
like a cool guy, you know,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
like the type of guy you go have a beer with after work or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah. He was. He talks about how I didn't know this about him, but he was sort of a high-ranking officer
Yeah,
in military.
yeah,
Yeah, and like that was why he was in Alaska originally. Um, and so to kind of uh, complement that kind of you know that lifestyle, he would go out and take a lot of photographs and stuff in nature, and so that
hmm,
was his kind of his way of getting away from work and whatnot.
right.
It's pretty cool,
Yeah,
pretty crazy to think he was barking orders at people, right?
yeah. When I first heard that, and this was like years ago, I didn't even believe it. I thought it was like one of those like false rumors that you'll hear from time to time
Yes,
about people,
yeah,
like the whole
yeah,
Marilyn Manson
exactly.
removing his ribs. I don't know if you heard that one. That's not true, but like
Right,
everyone
I
believed
do
it.
remember that.
Yeah, I
Yep,
thought it was like
yep.
one of those. I had to actually like Google it. I'm like, was he really? You just don't see it.
Right. Captain Kangaroo was a sniper and like a
Yeah,
Green Beret. It's like, no, he
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. But it's funny, I was I had got done with episode or season 3. I got done finishing watching it. And it was funny at the last episode, and he goes, "I just want to take a moment, and I just want to thank you for, inviting me into your life and inviting me into your home." And I'm like, I'm starting to get like all teary eyed. I'm like, this guy's like one of my best friends, man. It's like
Yeah.
a recording from 1985.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, that's but yeah, I did another one today. It's I'm kind of right now I work for a company, Freshly. They're called Freshly. You might have heard of them. Um, they do like prepackaged meals that are like home delivery meals.
Hmm.
Um, and unfortunately, they're going out of business. And my last day is like March 9th. So um, it kind of sucks. I'm not really doing it. I'm a actual software developer by trade. And so right now we're not doing any new development. So things are kind of slow. So I'm really glad, that I have the opportunity to just kind of do some paintings during the day to keep my mind busy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
It's definitely like a form of therapy, you know?
Absolutely. Yep. If I didn't have it, I know that there would be some anxiety about that. I mean, I've had some job interviews, I've got some prospects going, which is great, but it's one of those things where it's like, man, the being able to paint really takes my mind off of what could be a stressful, situation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, there's even like times where I'll be like just low, you know? I'm like, man, I don't really
Yeah.
feel like painting. You ever get those days where you just don't want to do anything and just like lay in bed or like eat? And then
Oh yeah.
I'll just like force myself to paint, and then I always feel better afterwards, like every time, you know?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. It's definitely it's everybody has to find their niche in terms of like meditation or just that inner, connecting with your inner self. I think that for me, yeah, painting is certainly my form of meditation and gets me connected spiritually. It's really cool.
Yeah, me too. Oh, shoot. I haven't even seen the comments yet. My apologies. I'm so bad at multitasking, man. Like, I'm
There's a
terrible
lot
at it.
going on.
So I know exactly
Yeah,
how I feel when I draw paint. That's awesome, Tiara. That's good.
I don't know if she's still here. I think so, maybe.
Oh, I think there's I think there's someone else want to go live. Alicia, uh,
Oh, cool.
is that okay with you, Jason?
Of course.
All right, man. I'm not
Yeah,
even sure if you can
yeah.
even have two people on. I guess we'll
I
find
don't
out.
know. Yeah, for sure. Even if I drop off, man, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, yeah. I did that for a while, and then I worked at a warehouse making air filters. So a lot of like warehouse jobs, things like that.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. It's amazing those color matching machines, just how precise and accurate they are. Isn't it like
Yeah,
making those batches? It's
yeah.
crazy.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. There's an exercise that I do, and I also like recommend other people to do it too, because it's like it's helped me a lot. Is sorry, I had a thought I was gonna sneeze, but apparently not. Anyways, I'd get like those. I'd go to like Walmart or Walgreens or something, and get like one of those paint palette swabs, of all the different
Yeah.
colors, and I'd just pick
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 random ones, and then I'll go home and try to mix that exact color just to like
Oh,
kind of challenge myself.
that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
There's
Because
also another.
that can
Oh, sorry.
teach
Go
you a
ahead.
ton about color theory.
Yeah, 100%. It's helped me quite a bit. And there's another guy that dang it, I can't remember his name either, man. It's because it's been. It's I think it's. Oh, Draw Mix Paint is the name of the YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
Um, and he goes into real depth of like color theory and how to mix colors and how to apply it in a practical way that makes sense
Yeah.
in terms of like how the natural world looks,
Yeah.
and he's really good at it, a lot better at it than I am at explaining it. And so if you ever want to check him out, it's he's really cool. Yeah, his YouTube channel is called Draw Mix Paint, and
Okay.
I learned a lot from him. He kind of, one of the episodes, he teaches you how to mix like any color with just like the five um the three primary colors, and I think brown
Yeah.
and purple. He also
Okay.
had, which was kind of bizarre to me because I always just used the three primary colors, white and black. But for some reason, he used like a
Yeah.
brown with his palette as well. But yeah, he's
Huh.
like he'll have kind of like the color palette idea. He'll have like a bunch of um, like swaps, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make this color, and he goes through the process, and he takes the paint and just makes a random crappy looking color, just throws in just a bunch of colors, that looks absolutely nothing like, the color swap that he's going to try to make. And he goes over like,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is what color you're going to add now to that pile. And he eventually turns that color that's completely off base into the color that's needed. And he explains it really
Oh,
well of like, it's just really interesting to
that's
check
cool.
out. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You don't have to though if you don't want to. I'm not trying to like
It's,
pressure you or anything.
no, no, no. That's cool. I appreciate it.
No
Oh,
problem, man.
that's awesome.
Yeah, you do some really good artwork too, man. I love your stuff.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I could
It's
definitely
been
see
fun.
the
I'll tell you.
I could definitely see the Bob Ross inspiration behind it. I mean, you definitely have your own signature, style at the same
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love your work.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. It's been a great joy, even just getting connected on TikTok and with the. It's such a great network, isn't it? I mean, just these
It's
artists
wonderful.
supporting artists. It's really amazing. I mean, there was a lot of contempt prior to investigation with TikTok. I think in my head, and
Yeah.
as in comparison with Facebook, man, which was so super toxic, it was like I wasn't really. This is like a whole new ballpark, and it, it's it's only as toxic as I want to be, really, because the algorithm picks
Yeah.
picks your level of interest in stuff. So it's like all my stuff is just happy, uplifting, and things that make me happy, and that's really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that's that. I completely agree because I tried, showing my artwork on Facebook and even Twitter for a short while, and
yeah,
it just like, yeah, like you said, I think it's like the algorithm is what makes TikTok so unique because you make art stuff and it'll go to like that specific community and not just out to everyone who isn't, necessarily interested in you know
yeah,
art. They want to see like
yeah,
cat videos or something, and nothing wrong with that. But I just really
right,
like how the algorithm like really helps creators and stuff like that. Because
for
yeah,
sure.
that's where I really kind of grew the most was on TikTok. You know,
Yeah,
like I'm trying
yeah,
to start like a YouTube channel now, but TikTok just they have like the best algorithm in terms of like connecting people with similar interests and stuff like that.
yeah. Absolutely agree. It's been so cool. Just met so many talented. There's so many talented and unique people, and also like generous people who support each other, share videos, comment, always supporting each other.
Yeah,
It's really uh, you know sort of restored some of my faith in humanity, and like
yeah,
there's good people out there, man. It's not all just fire and brimstone, you know, as like good people. So it's been really cool. So man, and I appreciate you, man. You know, one of the guys you know, I saw your work and I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. And um just anything that comes up, man, I'm always like, I gotta check this out. So
I appreciate that, man.
I'll give you a shout out, man, when I go live.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it seems it seems to kind of help the time pass and doesn't seem as lonely, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you just give me a shout out, man. If I'm not busy, and like I said, I probably won't be because I'm still looking for a job. So I'm just kind of painting at the moment. And yeah, just give me a shout out and I'll join for sure.
Cool.
I'd
Sounds
love to
good, buddy.
see what you're up to, you know?
All right. We'll do.
All
All
right.
right, I'm gonna hop off, brother. All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for coming.
You bet. Bye.
Bye. All right, Alicia. Hopefully you're still